Para X.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The calling.
And good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. This is our first show since the new year, and we are just excited to get back on again. Kimberly, how you doing tonight?
How are you, Jerry? Happy birthday and Happy New Year to you. You just had a birthday.
Yeah, thank you very much. Don't remind me. You know, it's funny when you're a kid, you're all excited about birthdays and everything. And then when you get to be old and you hit that 5-7 mark, that's when it hits you. You're not young again, man. This is it. You're going to be stepping off the cliff at any time now, and it's going to be done and over with. That's kind of grim, isn't it?
You're still young.
Well, yeah, you know, I feel in my head, I think that I'm 29. My age, of course, I'm 57, but the way I act is like 12, you know. It's, you can't help it, you know. So, gosh, okay, Alan's not on tonight, everybody. Just let everybody know. Yeah, I know. I don't know where he
Alan,
is.
what's going on?
Yeah, send him that message. Everybody send him that message to Alan and say, what the heck, dude? Hey, so it's terrible to hear. I heard a cop got shot down in Waseca, huh?
Yeah, a lot has happened over here in this community. Officer Eric Matson, he got shot here. Went to go check out a crime scene, and he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. So, yes, that's what's happening.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that, and I'm sure everything will be fine. It'll be good. So we've got tonight we have the Cryptomania God. Oh my God, you guys! I'm sorry, Cryptovania TV gentlemen, not the boys, the gentlemen. We have Tommy Cooper. Tommy Cooper. What the
That's
heck?
okay.
Everything. That's
No
okay.
problem, Mike.
No problem, Elvis. Yeah. So we have Tommy, we've got Nick, and we've got Jason. How are you three doing tonight?
Not too bad about yourself.
Not bad at all. If I can learn how to talk. Everything was great until we got on the air. So Nick's in the chat room, everybody. That's the famous Nick Marvin. And then we won't add the male prostitute on there. But I don't know what he does, you know, other times. Let's see. So, okay, great. So you guys are back on. So since the last time you guys were on, anything really big happened that was way cool?
Yeah, actually, Stacey Brown would probably be my favorite thing that happened from December. Would probably be Stacey Brown's appearance on Three Beers at Ray's, and he's got an upcoming movie with Les Stroud that they made called The Pit, and we got some of the lowdown from Stacey about working with Les Stroud, and that was a good high point for December there. And we also had Mike Patterson from Sasquatch, Ontario, and we had Lucy Steigerwald. We did an interview with Lucy Steigerwald just a couple weeks ago. So we're staying busy and all through December.
Excellent. That's great. So when is the Three Beers show on?
That's actually one that we record and then we release it on the channel. It's not actually done live. We record that and edit it.
Okay, and exactly where can you find it?
You can find that on the always free Cryptovania Roku streaming television channel, and you can also find that on Vimeo. And then you can also find in the Cryptovania Facebook group, you can find a lot of our videos in there too. We're very active in there.
Okay, is there a certain day that the Three Beers comes out?
No, that just kind of comes out periodically, about every other week or so.
Okay, that's whenever you renew the beer supply, then the new show comes out. We'll just say it like that. How's
Or
that?
at least in between.
You guys got to start making your own beer and name it like a Bigfoot name or something, or Crypto beer or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll have an episode with Mike Patterson that'll be getting released here soon. That we just recorded a few weeks ago. That's about done now. So that's a pretty good one there. It's he's got a lot of good information. He's got a lot of great research and stuff. Really, really good conversation.
Excellent. What about you, Mr. Cooper?
I'm just kind of bopping along with the rest of the guys here. The machine keeps on rolling, and things are going well. Always busy, always productive. There's always something new happening at Cryptovania.
Excellent. Kimberly, you want to ask a few questions?
No, so what is like the latest thing that you guys are going to be doing soon? Like, what are you guys going to be, who could I ask? Let me ask Nick. What are you guys up to soon here? I mean, what else is in the future?
I mean, it's really hard to tell. Right now, we're kind of in the late winter slump at our day job, and that's just kind of got everything kind of messed up. Kind of just waiting, just get out as when we can. But yeah, really nothing too planned, I don't believe. But I'm not really sure. That's really, as far as guests or anything like that, that's really more Tommy and Jason's department. I'm kind of the behind the scenes kind of person like that, and I usually get out in the woods. But yeah, it's just doing what we can for right now. But
One thing we do have coming up is this Sunday night at 9:00 Eastern will be the premiere of He Said, She Said. It'll be the podcast that we're doing with Stephanie Langer from Squatchers, as I'm sure you guys have all heard of. And we're going to be starting that this weekend. And that'll be a weekly thing on ParaX Radio Network. So we're looking forward to
Awesome.
Exactly. That's going to be a great show. That's going to be, and watch out, because she's not going to take any stuff from you. She won't. Paranormal Writer wrote in the chat about the beer, cryptid beer, exclusively hoppy, just like Sasquatch. There you go, guys. Grab that name. You heard it first right here.
I feel like
And also the hoppy flavor.
There you go.
by definition, wouldn't it have to be a stout?
Right.
Yep.
Kind of would have to.
Yep, with a woodsy flavor.
Or a musky smell too.
Well, that's
Yep.
gross. That means sitting around for a while. So with the show that you're doing, He Said, She Said, what is going to be the main focus on it?
Well, it remains to be seen what the main focus is, which is part of the fun. We're gonna kind of roll with it and see where it flows to. But one of the biggest things that we're looking forward to is like the duality, kind of the yin and the yang of the whole experience and thing. And we think it's going to be a nice compare and contrast on different attitudes. And we're going to try to show some civility to the cryptid world and show how people that have differing viewpoints can, in fact, get along, be friends, and have adult discussions about all these far out things and stuff. So it's going to be something new. It should be like no other program that I've ever encountered before. That's what we're hoping for anyways. That's the goal.
That's great, because that's one thing, not just in the cryptid world, but in the world of UFOs, the world of ghosts and everything else. Somebody puts something out and, swears to God it's real, where you got somebody on the other side is like, oh, come on, and it happens
Right.
no matter. I mean, it's happened to us. I know I've done it to people, because it's like there's some stuff that's out there. You just can't believe, And with the Bigfoot thing, I mean, I've seen him. I've watched him. I didn't get a picture because I didn't want to take my eyes off of him. 1 second he's there, 1 second he's gone. You want to make sure. Same with ghosts and everything else. Before you try to get that camera out, you're sitting there staring at either a shadow person or something. And sometimes you're in such disbelief when you see it. All you want to do is stare at it for the longest time and study it, or you're in total shock. Next thing you know, you messed yourself. You have to go home.
Right. We feel that there's enough pain and heartache and divisiveness and negative things, and all. We're going to bring something positive to this whole discussion, and we hope to really have something dynamite. And I think we do, and I think we're going to have a lot of really interesting, informative, and civil discussions about things.
Right. That's really good. Yeah, that's going to be great. So now this, when you first started this and stuff like that, who actually started it out?
Actually, Cryptovania was started at the place that we all worked together. So it was kind of a group effort and always has been. But us guys are really around each other every day, all day, and most of the night usually. So everything's kind of a communal thing here, actually, just because we're like family. We're together all the time. Right. Now, you guys hold yourself accountable for, which one of you guys have seen Bigfoot? I have. You have?
For sure. I've seen something cross the road when I didn't get a very good visual of it, but that's about the closest that I've really had. I've had other type of encounter things, but yeah, as far as upfront visual, I really haven't had that good visual.
I don't have one myself.
Okay. If I can interject something here too, sure. I've got to throw this out there. Nick is a very hard person to prove. He's very he needs some rock solid stuff. He and I have been in the woods together an awful lot, and he's really understating the amount of activity he's had around him and stuff. Some of it has been ambiguous, I'll give him that, but he's had a lot more activity than what he leads on as, because usually most of the things I've ever had happen, he's been with me when it's happened. So I'd say you got two pretty solid yeses from me and I, actually.
And so, Nick, when him saying that, so there's a lot of things that you're like, nah, I don't think so. Maybe you had one too many beer, Tommy.
More what it is if I'm not almost certain of what it is, I just I try. I don't know. I just don't put it out too much. I don't if I'm uncertain about something, I'm not really gonna talk to you. I don't know. I'm not that good of a talker, as you can tell, really. But it's hard for me to. Unless I'm 100% certain with evidence, I can't really get into the descriptions. I don't know.
Gotcha. Now, what about you, Jason?
No, I do not have any visuals. And other than what we've captured on night vision out on expeditions, but actually for my own self, like a visual or a Bigfoot encounter, no, not at all. And but that's all right. That's all right. Yeah. I'm just as firm a believer as any, if not more so.
Gotcha. Kimberly, have you seen any of their videos that they have out there?
No, I haven't seen any, actually. I haven't even had time to do anything for ourselves. But, let people know, you don't have to tell them exactly where you're at, but let people know what state you're in and the area. And how often do you guys go out? Anybody can answer that.
We're in the northwest corner of Pennsylvania, and as far as how much we get out, this time of year we're out at least every Sunday. During the other 3 seasons of the year, I'd say that we're out at least twice a week, usually 3 times a week. We're very blessed in where we live. It's quite remote, so it's not hard for us to get out. And as a matter of fact, our number one research area is across the road from where we all work at. So it's very easy to get where we need to go. And it's 1,000 acres that we have unlimited access to, surrounded by thousands more acres that we have pretty good access to. So it's really incredibly easy for us to hit the woods. And we do get out quite a lot. We kind of go for quantity of visits to the woods as much as we do for quality. We don't necessarily set out to be 3 miles back in or anything like that, but we try to be out at every chance we get because we're doing what we love to do, and we all love to do this.
But I got to figure a lot of these places that we're going in at, you're driving half an hour or so back these little roads that nobody else really ever drives, going back into these woods and then getting out and just going into the woods right off that road. So it's not like going off the highway. I mean, we're down no winter maintenance roads and just the little backcountry stuff. So it's pretty thick woods, really.
Right.
Gotcha. We have a question in the chat room. It's from Paranormal Writer. Have you guys seen a lot of activity in the, what is that word? Kimberly?
Allegheny Forest?
National Forest.
Allegheny Forest. Yep.
Gotcha. It's more middle of the state, but that's where I used to go out alone a lot. Seen some tree structures there. What about you guys?
That's probably about it's about 45 minutes or so away from where we're at. We don't really I don't really get over that way very often, but I've never really gone over there looking, really.
Oh, there you go. I think you should know.
I was invited there to go on a hike with a person that lives there, and I have hiked around some of it, but it's so vast. We just kind of clipped a little corner of it when I was there. And my own personal take on this, and Jason and I have talked about this at length, it's actually too big, in my opinion. It's too much woods. Mm-hmm. It would take, for me, my methodologies just won't work there. So I'm not really super excited about going there. It's a great place, but for what I'm doing, it just doesn't work with my method so well. So I don't go there much, but I've been there a few times.
Gotcha. Now, at your favorite spot that you go, is it more of a swampy type spot, or?
Our main research area is it's a hill. It depends what part of the country you live in, if you'd call it a hill or a mountain. But we have a hill, and it has a plateau on top of it, and of course it's surrounded by farmland, and it's actually not very swampy. It's just kind of open timber, but it's also the same woods I've horsed around in since I was a little kid, so I know it very well. So that's definitely an advantage for us as well.
Then one of the places that I go is right out by my parents' property, and that's, you get down in that valley, and there's a little creek that'll run through, and just swamp and beaver pond the whole way down that creek. That's usually my main research area. Like if I'm out in that area usually.
Gotcha.
I'd like to put out there, Tommy's been spending a lot of time in State Game Land 69, and it's super swampy in there.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. Now, what kind of things do you usually come running across? I mean, there's got to be, do you come face to face with any animals or anything like that?
You'll come across some coyotes or something like that, or might see a bear every now and then, but yeah, everything's usually leaving you alone.
Gotcha. Okay. And a bear, he just kind of looks at you and he's like, he's got a camera. I don't want to be on that. And then walks the other way around.
They'll usually be under their own way. They're not too,
So you're saying that everything seems to be, animals wise, everything seems to be okay when you go through and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, deer will take off running and stuff like that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Now, where you guys go and stuff like that, have you guys seen now I understand around that area and also in Minnesota, especially like in the lower part of the state, but they're actually been seen up in Bemidji, Minnesota too. Timber rattlers and snakes have really been moving in. Have you guys seen an influx in that around your guys' area?
No. I have actually been spending some time looking for the rattlesnakes that we have around here. And I'm sorry to say I haven't had much luck. I'm not very good at hunting snakes, I guess, but I'm practicing anyways. The hill where I was saying the main research area is, it's actually called Rattlesnake Hill, but the rattlesnakes were pretty well eradicated from there quite some time ago. And I personally, my unpopular opinion of the day is I hope to see them make a big comeback. So I'm constantly looking for them, but no confirmed sightings of rattlesnakes there yet, but they're definitely in the area.
Well, we had a friend of mine was going to go canoeing down the St. Croix River, and so I brought him over into Wisconsin. And as we were parking the car, because he wanted me to take his car back, all of a sudden there it was, 6-foot long rattler, and I was shocked. And this was 5 or 6 years, well, more than that, probably about seven years ago. And now they're saying, even up in Bemidji, my hometown and everything, they're actually finding snakes in the area. How they make it through the winter times up there, because the winters can be really, really rough. Like recently they just got 15 inches of snow up there and everything. And it's like they must really deeply hibernate, or they've really changed since the climate has changed so much. Like not too long ago, like 20 years ago, we never had possum. And now we've got possum everywhere. And I actually love them. I think they're not to eat, gentlemen, but just to kind of, look at and, feed them once in a while and stuff around here. So they're pretty cool. But yeah, no, so nothing big influx. Huh.
Actually, my theory is that your squatchy areas are going to be pretty snake free, because I think it was Jay Fouch that came up with the theory that they were that the rattlesnake dens they den up in the wintertime, and it's a great wintertime food source for the squatch. And
interesting.
That's kind of always been kind of a theory of mine that it's kind of hard to prove or anything like that, but it has come up that rattlesnakes would be a good food source, and especially at wintertime you'd have a concentration of them because they do kind of den up, and it would make a quick meal for a Sasquatch there.
Yeah, that's true. Yuck, but that's true. So no, one of the guys, Steve B, is asking in the chat room. It seems like PA, Pennsylvania, has had a lot of paranormal activity from UFOs, cryptids, spirits, and most everything. Just out of curiosity, from what he says, is that has there been an influx of UFOs?
I don't know, but I mean, like, almost everybody around here has some type of story of whether they've seen something in the sky, they've seen something in the woods, or they've seen some type of apparition or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of people that have at least one type of story that has to go along with the UFOs, the cryptids, or the spirits, really, like, especially in this area. Like, there's a lot of old cemeteries. There's just a lot of crazy stuff that's in this area and stuff, too.
So have you guys seen any, because we were going to talk about that, too, next time you guys were on. Have you guys had any experiences with UFOs? Remember, we were going to talk. Have you?
How about the experience you guys had with Shane Sirouet? Tommy Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that was they had that the night before that we got down there. Like they had the video. That was it was before we got there. They had that really good video that they caught in the sky, like on their night vision or whatever, their different kind of camera, and you could see like this weird cloud and then something like flying around it and then going back in, and really wild. But we weren't there that night. We were there the next night.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Tommy the one night we were driving up the road, and he's like, "Are you seeing that?" And we looked out, and it's just this fireball up in the sky, and like we were kind of following it, and then all of a sudden it just kind of took off the other side, and it did a couple of zags, and it was gone. That was pretty wild.
Wow. It's weird. It's something I've seen. I just thought about it, and now I was going to ask that certain person about it, but I'm just going to say it on the show, and maybe that person will pick it up. On Sunday, I went over to a friend of mine's for dinner, and as I was leaving, I never thought about it, but the neighbors were staring up in the air, and I just kind of looked, and there was a red and white. I thought it was a helicopter, so I rolled down my window. There was no sound. And I even heard one of those neighbors say, "I don't hear anything, whatsoever." And as I went up and was heading for the highway, this thing, I was trying to watch it as much as possible, just flew straight north. And I started thinking maybe it was a drone, but there's no way a drone could be that far away from where I was at. And so I followed it up to like at Highway 10. You guys don't know where that is, but I went up that far, and it still was heading north, and it was low, and it didn't seem like it was that big, but the lights on it, red and white light, were very, very clear. It was very interesting. I was going to bring that up because it was really cool to see. So you guys, your belief of maybe Bigfoot and UFOs, what do you think?
Well, I don't believe like, I'm not the connection guy. I'm the flesh and blood guy. The other two are the ones that are the interdimensional alien Bigfoots.
So you don't, no, Nick. So you don't believe that Bigfoot are interdimensional?
I don't believe that at this point. But I could get proved wrong tomorrow too. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what it is. That's just how I feel from what I've encountered and what I've seen so far. And I think they're two different things. I think aliens and Bigfoot are two completely different things. But I could get proved wrong tomorrow.
Right. Jason, what is your thought on that?
Oh, I definitely go down the interdimensional rabbit hole, and I kind of believe that the Bigfoot and UFOs and aliens are all kind of one and the same. And I believe that we're building towards a disclosure within the next few years, and that the encounters are increasing. And I also feel like that we're kind of like that we're building towards something. And yeah, I go all the way down that rabbit.
Gotcha. Tommy, your thoughts on it?
I don't have any explanations. I can't tell you anything for sure, but I can tell you that I have a video recorded on my night vision. We call it the Dancing Orb, and it's almost as good of an orb video as I've ever seen. And I've been told that I hoaxed it with a Mylar balloon and all this other kind of stuff. And I really don't care. I know what it was. I know what it wasn't. And I'm pretty proud of that video. I feel very fortunate to have been able to capture that. And who knows? That thing may have some legs. It may show up on a higher level yet. And but the orbs are definitely real. And if a person spends a lot of time doing what we're doing, they're going to see the lights. They may or may not talk about the lights, but they're going to see the lights eventually.
Right. Where can we see that at? Do you have it someplace online?
Cryptovania Facebook has the Dancing Orb, and we're also in the process of uploading it to our Vimeo channel. And I do believe it'll end up on the Roku channel, Cryptovania Roku Television, here very soon also.
It is.
Okay. What's that?
It is on Vimeo.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Nick,
Yeah,
is there?
And
That's
it
why we
is
keep-
titled Dancing Orb.
Gotcha. Nick, is there any way that
That's
you
why
could take
we
a
keep
copy
these
of
guys
that?
around.
What's that?
That's why we keep these guys around, because these guys are always on top of their game.
So, Nick, is there a possibility you can take a copy of that and put it into the chat room? Share it into the chat room so they can, can take a peek at it?
Yeah.
Okay, now, Cammie, I want to ask you, what do you think of the correlation of Bigfoot and UFO? And there's a reason why I'm asking. I have a new theory, guys. Kim?
Okay, what I think is because I run with Squatchers, and we've had some experiences, especially with orb and UFO like things. Now I haven't experienced a UFO. I can't tell you if it was. Well, I know what I saw was like a saucer type thing, and then not when I was with Squatchers, of course, but back in the past. But when me and Stephanie and all of us were out there, we have had experience like with red colored orbs and green colored orbs and even white ones. I think I saw a huge white one too. And then there was like an experience that we had that felt like there could have been like the ground shook, like some heavy-footed animal. And I mean, we had a really crazy experience after we saw these colored lights. So, I mean, that to answer that question, there has to be some kind of correlation in somewhat way. I'm not too sure, but I mean, there has to be, because there is a lot of experience with it. I mean, not only I, but other people all over have said they've had that type of an experience before. So yes, there has to be something.
Excellent. Interesting. Well, tell you what, here's my possibility type thing for it. And that is, it's time for break. We'll talk about it after break, guys. So everybody hold tight. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes.
Explore the darkness.
Find out what goes bump in the night. Did you hear that?
Did you see that? What's that bright light in the sky? Oh, we so need to investigate.
Calling all witches and sensitives.
Explore the paranormal.
With host
Shauna
and Vicky from
Geeks Paranormal.
Wednesdays
at 9 Eastern.
8 Central.
Let's explore. On paraxradio.com.
Sure you're wondering why you received this tape from a random stranger.
What was that?
What?
I heard something.
Like what?
Like a gunshot.
But is it really random? Am I really a stranger? Or are we connected in some way to a web of lies and deceit? Possibly murder?
I'm sorry about our argument the other day. I'd like to make it up to you. In your office. I've been such a bad girl. I need you to correct me.
Okay. I'll unlock the door. Hello, Ben! How are ya?
You see, I hear things, see things. I know everything. To protect myself, I need these stories to be told. Blood Noir is a crime and horror anthology show. Stories about people caught in desperate times and only have one way out.
And we're back. This is Jerry with The Calling, along with Kimberly and the boys of Cryptovania TV. But before we get back to them, I actually want to tell you guys, go to our website, www.thecallingradioshow.com. You can get a hold of us. If you miss a show, it's going to be listed there. I'll have this show on there by night, and also on The Calling sorry about that, YouTube channel. We started putting all of our shows onto that, and that's been going very well. And of course, I also want to talk about, make sure that every Tuesday, the ladies of the gathering sit around that metaphysical table. They do all sorts of weird stuff. I don't even know, but they're fantastic. And they're on every Tuesday night from 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on ParaX. And this Sunday, January 12th, the new show coming on, and that's the He Said, She Said, the Cryptid Show. And that's with the one, the only, Mr. Tommy Cooper, and with Stephanie Langer of Squatchers and The Gathering. The Gathering. And they will be on talking about stuff. And Tommy was just saying the shorter version of that name is going to be there you go. That's the new the new quicker name instead of He Said, She Said. So anyway, okay, we're back to the show. So now, like I was saying, that I think that there is a different thing for Bigfoot and UFOs, because a lot of people think that they're together and everything else. But it's like what I say about UFOs and droids. Droids nowadays, you can see them all over the place. Could it be a UFO? Possibly. Could it be just a droid that somebody sees and they don't know much about it, so they're like, wow, that's a UFO? Well, of course, actually, it is a UFO, but, who's to say that UFOs are not droids coming in from other planets, other galaxies and stuff? Could that be a possibility? It could be. But when it comes to UFOs, who's to say that the interdimensional, I believe that, who's chalking open a beer and not giving me one? The interdimensional, I believe in that. I believe that Bigfoot is interdimensional and can go between times and places. Who's to say that UFOs, the aliens, are not watching them to find out more about them, being research? There's nobody saying that can't be. That could possibly be. So it's an interesting fact. What do you think, Tommy?
That is pretty interesting. I've never once considered that. That's I like your viewpoint on that. Could be.
Yeah, because it's like, if they're there where, where there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings, they're UFO sightings. Or if they're UFO sightings, there's also Bigfoot sightings. So that could be a tell, or, just someone trying to, from a different world, trying to figure out who they are, So it's like stalkers from outer space.
Yeah.
Jason, what do you think?
It's definitely got a possibility to it. And they could be surveillance of the Bigfoot activity, and you might actually have three different forces at work there: us, the watchers, and the Bigfoot. Yeah, definitely a possibility.
Exactly. And there's another thing, too, that Steve B. just said. Maybe when Bigfoot moves between dimensions, the strange lights are an after effect. That could be, and maybe there's a way in time where a Bigfoot can come from one side, a UFO can come from another. We all don't have the answers on that yet. We would like to say we do, but, that could be.
In that same school of thought, I agree with that, Steve, because if they're going from one dimension to another, there's very seldom any kind of a process that doesn't have like a bleed over effect. Like if you turn a light bulb on, you get a lot of light, but you also get some heat. And kind of in the same way of looking at it, if something's coming in and out of a dimension, that could be almost like visual ectoplasm, or something that leaked out in the process, a byproduct that fell by the wayside. So yeah, I think he's spot on.
Very good. Excellent. Good job, Steve. Now you brought up another thing to really kind of think about. Kimberly?
Yeah, what else I was going to ask you guys? Have you guys had any other like cryptid sightings or anything like that, or people may have, that you guys maybe have checked out that area of some sort? I would say like the Mothman, or that big bird that everybody talks about, like the big, it looks like a pterodactyl type of bird, or the rogue, I think it's called rogue or something like that, which is he looks like an all skinny like creature, real long and thin. So is there any sightings like that?
Yeah, actually, the Thunderbird sightings, that's kind of seems to be something that has really gained a lot of traction in the last couple of years. We've had several people from both north of us and south of us say that they've had encounters with very, very large birds. And when I first started with this, it was one that I kind of was more skeptical than others on. And I'm coming more and more to the belief that there's something there. And I don't know what it is, but there's definitely a phenomenon of people experiencing large birds or seeing large birds, whether it's a Mothman or a very, very large, like condor type thing. And some of the sightings seem to be like kind of you catch a glimpse, and then some have felt like they've been targeted, and that it was definitely showing the individuals, the witnesses, ill will. And I had one guy that got a hold of me, and he said he fired shots at it, and he was not what you would call somebody that you would think would be easily spooked, and but it does seem to be that Pennsylvania and New York in particular, we do seem to have a quite a few of those sightings,
Right.
and then we've also had we get a lot of reports of dogman reports,
Mhm.
not near as many as Bigfoot, but I would say maybe 10% of our cryptid sightings have like a dogman feel to them, whether and some of them quite actually close to where we are Cryptovania headquarters, within a mile.
Wow.
And from different people in different walks of life, all of them in very similar areas. And you know, again, the Dogman was one that I had always not been wasn't a super big believer in, but over the 8-9 years that I've been around the shop, we have so many people come in and give us what sounds to me like a Dogman sighting.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Say, were you guys ever on the? I'm just kind of curious now because I see Steph talked about Bilko Productions. Were you guys on that film?
Bilko.
No. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that.
Oh, you guys weren't. Oh, sorry. I thought you guys were. I'm sorry. Well, there's something to shoot for. We're new. Got it.
Too.
What's that?
Don't they make cellar doors too?
Well, I don't know. But he's been doing documentary films
writes itself.
that are actually really good. D. Macaulay is another one up in Ontario. He's been doing ones about Sasquatch on Lake Erie and UFOs, all that stuff. There's some really good ones out there. Have you guys thought of ever doing any kind of filming like that or anything like that? Any kind of what would you say, investigative type film?
It's kind of what we're doing right now, but we're doing it in shorter bursts. As far as like a 2-hour document or a 3-hour document goes, it's just not in the cards at this point of time, but it is a goal that we're working toward. We'd love to go further and further into this.
Great. That's good. You should. Have people been asking you to take them out with you and kind of show them the area and what to look for and everything?
Well, you get people that want to go out all the time, and then when you get a hold of them to go out, I'm kind of busy today, or yeah, I mean, it's hard to get people to commit to actually go out and run around and chase a giant ape out in the woods with you. I mean, you get a couple of people, but it's just not very many that actually will follow through usually.
Although I usually go ahead.
Nope.
I don't have much trouble with people wanting to go into the woods with me because they know before they finish the sentence I'm going to be booking a time with them, and I can't wait to take them. And I'm so excited to get them out there that they almost never say anything to me because they know what the answer is going to be yes every time, and let's go tonight.
And
Jason,
our flagship Cryptovania show, we do take people out into the woods, and then we do an interview afterwards about those experiences are a part of it. We have Jay Fouch and the Coshocton County crew was the last one. Tony and Jack Merkel came up from the confessionals. They came up and we took them out in the woods. Dirty South Squatchin', we've taken them out in the woods and done an interview with them. Greg Yost spent a couple of days in the woods with us. A big part of our main show, our main Cryptovania show, is bringing researchers from around the country, and they spend a couple days with us, and we get to know them both on film, basically. And so we've had the privilege of really taking out some what we consider world-class researchers and that have come up with us, and we go out, make a couple of daytime excursions and a couple of nighttime excursions. I think with Tony Merkel, we were able to find a cemetery deep in a national park, and we were or the state park, and we were there at midnight, and it's the graves date back to the War of 1812, and we were back in there with some night vision, and so yeah, we do get some people that come up here and do that, and they come up just to go out and experience what we have here in Cryptovania. We do get some people that take us up on it, and both locals and researchers from around the country, or even international. We had Robin Moonshadow come down from Ontario, and she spent a couple days here, and so we do get some people to come out and enjoy it, and that's a big part of our platform, and that was really the one that we built the channel around the Cryptovania interview show.
Nice. Kimberly, will you go ahead and read the question from Steve B?
Where is it?
It's there.
Besides coal and water, what else is in the ground and the air that makes PA a paranormal attraction?
I have a belief that the minerals that are in the ground, especially quartz and things like that, can play a big factor in it. I think gold and silver also play a factor in it. I think there's a great variety of things that we do not have a good understanding of why they seek it out or why they seem to be in that vicinity. But definitely quartz, definitely gold and silver are definitely something that are an attraction to them, whether that's cause and effect or just that's the way luck has it. But it seems to be that way.
Interesting. All right. So, guys, now you guys had sent me an audio tape or an audio thing. Kind of tell me a little bit about it and tell everybody about it before we play it.
That audio that was sent to you is from Mike Patterson up in Ontario. It's Sasquatch, Ontario, and he has developed a relationship with a pod of Bigfoots or Squatches that includes communication back and forth. And this is an audio. This is a very partial audio of some of those conversation there. I believe that the name of this one was Nefertiti. Would that be the right name there, Tommy Cooper?
He calls the individual Neph.
Okay.
Nefertia. Nefertia is the full name.
Okay.
And what does Nefertia mean?
I think it's the name.
Mike does. Yeah, that's the name. But Mike actually had said that he changed the spelling on it from NEPH to NEF because too many people were trying to put the connotation of Nephilim with it, and he thought he was doing the creature a disservice. And I think that's also, I can't really speak for him, but I think that might be why he calls the creature Neph now.
Interesting. Sarge, would you play that a few times, please? Interesting. Kimberly, what's your thoughts on that?
That's pretty interesting. Were one of you guys with them when they caught this audio?
No, it was a big day in my life. I had the opportunity to interview him, and we kind of become friends somewhat. And it's off of his YouTube channel. He was kind enough to let us use it and stuff, give him credit for it. But that he's a lot like Todd Standing, and some people think he's just great and the best stuff out there.
Right.
And some other people are skeptical. I myself think he's great, and I think he's got some of the best stuff out there. And I've got to tell you, that was really a big day to me to be able to meet him. That was a long time coming. I've been a fan of his for quite some time. So that's some great stuff in my opinion.
Gotcha. Jason, your thoughts?
Oh, I take it totally at face value. And he's got quite a library of these communications, and I myself, I find it completely legit, and I'm a definitely firm believer in it. And I find him a very erstwhile, and I find him very believable as an individual, and I think that really comes well in the Three Beers and Ray's interview that we did with him.
Gotcha. Marvin?
I've liked that guy's stuff for quite a while, ever since Tommy introduced me to him. And that guy's wild. He gets out there, and he gets out in the woods deep, and he'll stay out there for a couple of days, and just very intense guy, very intense guy, and does a lot of great research. And I think his stuff's pretty legit.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. And he's from Ontario, right? You said Canada? Right.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. It was there now. Was that supposed to be one talking to another?
No, I think
that's actually communicating back and forth. Like they have a relationship together. And you'll even hear Neff saying his name with a little bit of imagination. You can hear Nefertia saying, "Mike." It's the first time I heard it, I about jumped out of my boots. It was like, what? And but the more you listen to it, the more you can hear the attempt at English type communication from the individual.
Okay. Sarge, could you play that one more time? Yeah. And somebody was moving around back there, so everybody kind of sit still so I can hear this all the way through. Sarge, can you play that again, please? It kind of almost sounds like they're standing right next to each other on that. It's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting. Any questions in the chat room there? If you have them, just go ahead and type them out.
So then basically this person has a one-to-one. What was his name again? Just to say it again.
Mike Patterson, Sasquatch, Ontario.
Okay. So he has so then he has a relationship with these Bigfoot, right?
Yes. Well, and that's another one of the most interesting things about his work is he finds gifts on his vehicle of woven grass, of dead mice, of sculptures. It's just awesome. It is just awesome.
That's awesome.
That's way cool. I'm looking at the orbs on Dodman's Hill that you sent me.
I can't put any URLs or videos to post into the chat. I'm not sure. So I just sent it to you.
Yeah, I do watch the videos that you put up, Tommy, and lots of pictures that you put up whenever you go squatching, and stuff like that. So, and we are Facebook friends, so there's a lot of stuff that I see. So it's pretty awesome that you guys are out there doing your thing, Well,
thank you. Sometimes people tell me I post too much, and I don't care. I'm going to keep on posting.
No, you can't.
What's on the other side of the world, Well, you're not even that far from us. As a matter of fact, you better talk to Steph about us going out there to go squatch with you guys.
Absolutely. We're working on it, for sure.
Awesome. Excellent.
And actually, I think that orb video that I sent you is actually the wrong one, because that's Donovan's Hill. That's not the dancing orb, because the dancing orb's down in the swamp, right? Right, Tommy?
Yes. Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, I thought that was the dancing orb there.
That's a different orb video that Tommy caught. That one's right across from Cryptovania headquarters, actually.
Yeah,
interesting.
The dancing orb video. Oh, that's all right. We'll get it to you.
No problem. So Steph's saying when we heard what we think is Bigfoot, it was a much different sound. That could be, it's like you and I, Tommy, we both got the different voices and stuff like that. That could be the same. One could be older, one could be younger, one can be as gorgeous as me, and then you. And then Steve B says, let's see, where does he say? Maybe Mike could have a real good psychic medium next to him to get a good reading on it. Have you guys ever brought anybody out that's, I know that cryptid's kind of far away from paranormal and everything, but did you ever think about having somebody go out like that?
I'm kind of the stick in the mud on this because it's one of our goals in Cryptovania to keep it unoffensive to all listeners and viewers. So anything that could start getting into the area of religiosity and things like that, I'm kind of adamant that we don't delve into those areas too far. And, nothing against people can do what people want to do. We're very libertarian minded. But for what we do, we try to steer clear of that one a little bit.
Gotcha. Because, in some of it, I believe that, I believe that Bigfoot is interdimensional. So, some people that don't believe in that think that when it comes to, a paranormal type thing to it, like, what's his name? Lauren Coleman. He really believes that, they are interdimensional and that vortexes could be opened around them for them to be able to slip through. It's kind of an interesting thing. That'd be a good thing for you to talk about with Steph on He Said, She Said. Remember that one?
I think that one's definitely going to come up because that'll be a very stark contrast. So that should be a good topic.
There you go. Well, we got 2 minutes left, guys. Now, if somebody wants to get a hold of you in the Pennsylvania area, or if they just want to get a hold of you to talk Bigfoot or to take a look at some of your videos, where's a good place for them to go?
I would say the Cryptovania Facebook group, or finding us on Facebook really is probably the easiest and most convenient one. And the Cryptovania Facebook is a very vibrant resource with lots of posts daily from usually from each of us, and plus other posters. But and Tommy Cooper and Jason Trost on Facebook, we both accept lots of strange friends requests.
I'm Nick Marvin, just because he didn't say me.
He doesn't accept a lot of weird friend requests.
Right. You're okay with that then.
The weirdest friend request I ever accepted was probably the one for Trust, but that's a story for a different day.
Yeah, still regret that.
Right. Okay, just out of curiosity, before we leave, which one of you guys makes the jewelry? Maybe I got it wrong. No, forget it. Okay. No.
I haven't got into it yet.
Okay, great. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it. Kimberly, thank you, and Para X, and of course, Sarge, you are the bomb. We appreciate it. Good luck with your show, Tommy. It's going to be fantastic.
It is.
And everybody have a good night now.
You